compare more people to example because he's basically the GOAT, but Beamy is able to surpass some of those numbers. Going on to Tego here though in just a few moments time, and I think, Avenger, it's about bloody time we get that Twisted Minds win on the way. So let's do it. It's time to Tego. It's Avenger and Blank casting the bloody game.
It's a really good day to be here on Tego. He needs to stop being Northern because I will transition as if I'm still up in the moors. But we're not. We're here on Tego. Very different area of the world, I would say. But when Will Twisted Mind gets that big win, will Batulians once again ruin another team's chances? Wait and find out here at the PEC. We're at match 9. Like you say, Avenger, we're past the halfway point now. It's time to get a move on. It's time to start bumping up those numbers. For Team Vitality, time is running out. Similarly for Na'Vi. But the middle packet is it's cramped. It's cramped in there, right? It's like a London Underground tube. Not much space to work around with.
Oh, I thought you were going to go somewhere else with that. Some blunt weapons are in there. Maybe pull up some pants and go crazy.
That's not my usual
okay. I don't know UK stuff. You guys are different over there, but yeah, for this circle and for how everything is kind of lining up already, Blank. Oh my goodness! If this is not an SAUL circle, I don't know what is. These guys are looking feisty for this one here. Hive also looking poised. High prior for them. This is already full sending it to try to get up to army base anywhere. Prior up there. Vitality now here. Levanta taking lots of shots with the AK. He's got nothing else but an AK, 9 shots and a dream.
And a dream a lot of teams will have to have here is e-pickup. Will they find one? Will they not? Because we're heading all the way up towards the north side. I think it's the second time you've seen this type of circle. Very unfun. As we head over towards
unfun. These are the greatest to watch, the worst to play.
Exactly. It's unfun for the players, fun for us. SAUL though starting in a wall song, so we'll see what they can get done from that position. Honestly, I've been quite happy with SAUL today because I think that the question has been answered that yesterday was just a string of pretty horrible circles to be working with. But today, I think they've been a little bit more luckier with those circles. And I think that they have been able to translate that into some decent games.
Yeah, some would say there was question marks around this team today when we started, but no more. They did end up going absolutely ballistic in one of the games, and that's good to see. Obviously, for me, I'm looking at it saying, okay, guys, so we know that you guys can play, but you need to be able to step up, and you should be contesting for this top 4. But right now, they are in the hunt. They're trying to get into this 5th, even potentially this 4th place here. They need 2 more big games today if they or to be anywhere close to PGD. Also, PGD are the team that's kind of behind them. They've already set up an e-pickup, even though they're already on the northern side of this island here, Blank, which is a little bit interesting. So let's see where they end up going. Soul getting multiple cars here, both the truck and the US is to try to get in and get some space here. Hive already set up dead center. VP already getting close to army base here, where this is already set up. We could see an early fight if VP end up losing players early on here again. It could be another sight to see in terms of what we saw from the other Tego game when it came to the Hive bridge camp. Failed bridge camp even.
Salik so high in the sky, having a little bit of a scout for the time being. The rest of the team is following in behind him. I think he does have Zabilla underneath in a vehicle. We have another e-pickup coming through for Twisted Minds. They're going to make their way over. Similarly, TMO's also e-pickup. It's helicopters galore right now. All heading on over. You gotta love that noise.
Surely. Yeah, Twisted surely goes for some cars on the northwest side, maybe hoping that the Wall Song team didn't take all of it, because here you really need vehicles to traverse this terrain here. There's so much trees, so much cover to play, but if the circle goes against you, you're gonna have to go multiple kilometers, and that's the different one, because there's so many teams hiding in the compounds, in the cover, especially behind some of the trees, some of the rocks, as you can see here below him. If you had a pickaxe, you would be loving life because all the iron ore and copper ore, you'd be able to get in and craft some other weapons. But this is not the kind of game we're playing here. It's for the cover.
It is for the cover, you know. No swords. No swords available for them here. Can't craft yourself a level 3 vest either. That's not happening. All right. It would
Imagine
be nice.
that's the kind of arcade I want to see in the future. By the way,
You know, with diamond vest.
No, yeah, I mean more like crafting stuff, maybe destroying the terrain. Now that we have the pickaxe in, that you can actually destroy terrain. Imagine you can start going a little bit more survival, open world survival on PUBG. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean that arcade mode.
Oh!
Arton, though, that's a cheeky little run out there. Goes down to 6 HP. Going to try and finish things off with a nice underhander out the window. It doesn't quite happen. Very quick lane gameplay right now from Artoon, though. Payne's finding look what a mortar onto himself.
That's a red zone.
Oh, the red zone, yeah, of course.
Yeah, the red zone on top of this. Oh my God, Beamy finds Stratos. It's falling apart for this, even though they got the great opening. Look at this, Habibi. Can he make something work here? Oh, blue zone. This is going to be great for them. They're just going to have to get out and maybe try to help some of the other guys, get him into a better spot here. Nixie holds the front edge, goes for the rest immediately here. It's actually going to work out. They're going to get the rests off. Habibi trying to get the most out of it, but VP really looking and poised for this win here.
I mean, it's been a tough fight. Red zone coming in clutch, though, towards the end. Nice pick up on the sidelines. Go towards Habibi. Nixie is taking no prisoners, though. And we'll find him on the jump out. Yeah, the red zone absolutely was the MVP of that fight for Virtus Pro. It's such an unfortunate location for it to land.
Yeah, so close to the building is super rare. Boss has seen this, but they're safe inside. I think VP is actually going to recover. The only thing is that they now have broken vests, used utility, and some of them are on second and third knocks. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but still that works out. They're all 4 strong here, and now with the circle closing in, we're looking at Navi and seeing how they're going to be getting into this. They're driving south of the palace side here, and for the rest of it, it really means that hopefully they're going to be able to get all together here. They're a little bit split spurs on the other side here, close to Starry Sky, but I don't think it's worth fighting. This zone, you have to get in deep. You have to get in to some of the terrain that's in the cover, because this one has just a few compounds on the northern side. Hive is locking down multiple of them. Otherwise, it's just open space and open terrain fights.
Most teams have found like a little space to play. But no Slack, they were actually attempting to get in past Shipyard Bridge, but TMO actually held them out there. So no Slack opted just to slow it down. I think they realized they're going to be in really late on this one. So getting in slightly later is not the biggest deal in the world for them. Obviously, it's going to affect their performance, but yeah, I think they're happy just to wait this one out as opposed to try and go for the full-on engagement between them and the Mythov, who are already moving. But Team Vitality will be one of the last to get out of the blue, and they're going to use a E pickup to get in.
Late E pickup here, Blank. That's that might work out. When the second circle pops, if it's not too far away from the plane path of the E pickup, it might work out. But still, I really feel like you need vehicles in this kind of zone here. Unless you end up dropping on this straight spot we're going to be ending up. It's great. Some high ground and some stuff, but still, this is a difficult circle to approach, especially with that road going up from Godok, where there's strong compounds, where Hive is kind of locking down already. If it's either side of that road and you don't have a vehicle to traverse across, then it's difficult. It's really difficult. So let's see how it goes. Maybe they were looting for that long to get another E pickup, and they're just E pickupping into an E pickup.
Yeah, well, I think most of the rotations that have happened in this game are for E pickups, and you're wondering how many vehicles are left remaining on this north side of the map, because that's what a lot of teams were banking on, is having some cars available after they do hit the ground. Hive does drop down a little bit further down towards the south side. I always find the compounds around this area a little bit awkward to play, where you've got the high ground surrounding you. It's not always the most ideal position to be picking up knowledge and intel from. Starry Skies are going to E-pick up now. How many are on the map for these teams?
I'm not sure. That's the big one. Next circle popping here with the eastern circle going this way, Blank. The very big high top and hill where TMO is getting close to is actually super strong. And if Virtus Pro locks that down and gets the compound and we end up close to it, that's actually a brilliant E-pick up. Let's see where Starry Sky goes and let's see where the rest of the teams they end up. But the amount of pressure that's coming in from this western side, look at how many teams moving.
It's an incredible migration from a lot of squads right now. Team Nemesis also on the way. A little bit more of a quiet past couple of matches so far for Team Nemesis. Now looking to turn up the heat a little bit here and regain their top spot. That high ground alongside all the rocks and the outcrops in that area going to be a big focal point for a lot of teams. Justice already scouting it out in the glider, which is a very nice thing to have, I would say, in a circle like this. Getting the aerial view of where teams might be playing when it's so obscured by all these trees is very useful.
It's both dangerous and useful here. If he gets shot down, they're going to lose a player, but he could also just dive down and get maybe to some of the high ground, but he continues his UAV action here coming in. Now Hive finds PGG, Sibylla gets found. Danta could find another one here. More shots come in. Rox finds another one. Vitality for the third party though in the distance. Schengen's fight Joyce Lloyd Jacket. Sibylla gets flushed too. And Hive is on the winning end of this one here. And PGG gets stopped just a little bit. Everyone chasing this 5th place team, and there's just immediate action for everyone.
I mean, we're all getting very close to one another at this point in time, especially as you start to sort of circle the high ground. So in the middle, Presenti will go down. It's PGG going out in 15th. We lost Viz a little bit earlier, if you remember, versus Virtus Pro. It's a bit of a big congregation, right, around this central high ground. Virtus Pro, though, this team is very locked in towards the central arena. They're on that northern side. S8UL off in the distance. And it is a lot of this tree line that just makes this area of the map so interesting to play, where you really are just trying to thread the needle and get as much information as possible, but sometimes it can be quite difficult, which is where like Virtus Pro's high ground actually comes in very useful, right? Because they get to look down upon players.
Yeah, now we have Justice jumping out here. He's done with the UAV and he gets and has gotten all the information already readily available for them here. So the question is really, do we end up on this northern side? And I completely agree here. There's some very obvious kind of playing lines with how the ridges and how everything kind of works. And if you know exactly how to approach that and how to kind of play around that, you can have an absolutely great game. Drops coming in. Oh, look at that. That's a spicy one.
Yeah, you want that. You want that right now. And to be honest, for the mid-4, this is a super easy pickup for a lot of these crates. Grab yourself a P9 C level 3s. It's going to really put you ahead. And those boxes are very closely clustered. And already the mid-4 are starting to move their little peek on over, see what they can garner from that location. Circle does move down towards the south, though. And Na'Vi really benefits off the back of this.
Yeah, that's a huge southern shift. Look how much teams is on the from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock and outside the circle that's going to have to make moves. Na'Vi is laughing. This is their chance, Blank. This is their turn to make sure that they get points and kind of push themselves up to that top 5, top 6 positions here. Bushido Wildcats trying to thread the needle, but they're going to get shot and maybe shot down as well. Nixie finds Micah. And look at that. It's VP pushing over towards these northeastern sides. Trying to get around. Schengen finds Crossberg.
Yeah, for the myth of it, it's sort of interesting that Mika was down there on that northern side in the first place. I guess he was trying to inspect the loot crates or try and look where players were coming on that northern side. But yeah, do you think there was a possibility for them to just move down towards the south? It just felt a little bit strange to me. He gets caught out there. First Pro absolutely happy with that, though. They know that they've weakened the position on their southern edge. So they can maybe push through that later.
Oh, Code Marco finding Michelle here, boss. Getting lots of damage taken here. And now Bushido Wildcats are going to pounce onto this one here. They're going to send it towards the confirmation. And yeah, that's going to be Marshall out. They're spread out too thin here, boss. They cannot defend this position already with them being in basically a 1-1-1 one-way split. Difficult for them. And now 1 point for Bushido Wildcats. Trying to push themselves up. Right now 12th place, but they're in this big mid-pack where a great game pushes us into 6th place. So is that fine for Tulins? No level 3 gear or 3 helmet for him. And he's knocked out. Now Diffix tries to find more of Twisted Minds. And Twisted Minds has just been straight up unlucky today, but still finding a little bit of points, a little bit of placements, some kills. Rough game so far for them today, though.
Yeah, find themselves in awkward spots. I mean, getting absolutely sprayed down by Na'Vi last game was a bit unfortunate for them. See how they can handle off versus Team Nemesis, though. This is not a fun team to be running into, especially when you're trying to rotate inwards. So says the type of guy alongside with Diffx who can absolutely hit those shots as they're moving through. Team Nemesis, though, realize that, you know, already Twisted Minds, they've got ahead. They're starting to wrap ahead. Time for them to get a move on.
Percy trying to get this confirmation on a doozy. But I think he's actually going to get out. Example's been found as well. Twisted Mind just continues to run into so much damage. Schengen finds them. And explosion on it. Lou does find Rina. And Everlong is on the receiving end of the damage here from Twisted Mind. Oh, tire popped. And this is a terrible car to drive with just 3 wheels. It just scoots everywhere. And look at that circle.
Yeah, that's why you got to put it in reverse. Best thing you can do. Slow but steady. Circle directly on top of Na'Vi. This is their game to win. Back of this one. Got a lot of space to work with. Yeah, they're kind of in a ditch right now, slightly. But it's just going to give them so much safety all the way through that end game. And this is going to be a bit of a battle on the outside edge of the circle between a lot of squads. I don't think anyone's really getting through this unscathed, if that means that they have to use utility to get through as a 4-man, or even just lose one player here and there. You are losing something whilst battling on the outside edge.
Scav gets the confirmation onto Mame Rocks. Gets the knock on to Phil first here. 9-0 Slack. They're trying to hold on to this northeastern side, but they've got VP, our current lobby leaders, ahead of them. It's looking like a tall task ahead of them to make something work, but they can get in. Levante gets the confirmation onto Batulins here. It's really a rough game for Twisted Minds so far.
Yeah, I mean, wherever Twisted Minds has gone, it's constantly under pressure right now. I think they tried to spread out, try and figure out as much area as possible to play in. I think it's the best thing that they could have done. It's going to keep them alive a little bit longer. BME finding Boars. Celtic running down Code Marco, unfortunately. A little bit of team kill action. Not sure why. SAUL chasing down high. This team had a strong position at the start of the game. They get caught out of it now, and SAUL looking to push on through. Mogor, though, has got something to say about it. Phil first will go down.
This is a difficult angle to push here because those riches are not out inside. Hive's holding terrain that's also not inside here, so they're fighting for terrain that's not in 1 minute. They're gonna have to finish this fight quickly or disengage and get into a different spot here. They're trying to get the points, trying to resolve this quickly. A doozy tries to run away from that. 17 damage still done. Smoke's ahead of them here, and now they're trying to leapfrog into this circle to hold out Hive. Lou gets a kill from Fantasia. Levante finds Doozy in the distance there. They're holding the northern side of this new circle here, and Vitality looking good, looking poised for some more points.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, for SAUL, like, they've come on the edge of this circle.
Good nades.
It has just been tough. They've run into a bunch of competition. Twisted Minds had the similar thing, but I think for them it was quite literally the case of we just have to split up and try and get as many positions as possible to play in. It's not likely we get in further, and I think that's the difference maker between them and Twisted Minds. Twisted Minds just says that we agree that we are going to lose players.
Yeah, I mean, Hive committing so much to not get into this next circle here. Now Perfection's just going to rain hell of them with the nades. Good nades coming through. More committed here. Shouldn't have been cooked, but that's still one more knock to come in for Lou as well. And now there's smokes upon smokes. Look at that. Confirmations trying to come through from the knocks. And Twisted Minds trying to just salvage as many points as they can.
Yeah, I mean, this is a hard shift over towards the eastern side. First Pro going absolutely crazy. Lucarux does have the P90, takes down Nitro. Vitality also still consistently chiming in here. Quizzy has an absolute swivel over the circle right now. He has got the telescope out and he is finding targets around. The Mythov still stuck out though on that northern edge. We'll have to pass by through Team Vitality. Schengen's going to try and get a little bit of tiny high ground, see if he can spot over towards Perfectix, but the shots are good right now from Twisted Minds still.
Difficult game for Hive, difficult game for Nemesis and for Twisted Minds. The circles continue to go away from them. All the fights are happening on the eastern side, and now Na'Vi is looking to hold out all these teams here. We're going to have a fight on the northern side with TMO and Vitality eventually. And Twisted Minds going out in 10th place. Diffix finding Perfectix. They continue to get kills even though they're in a difficult spot.
Yeah, Team Nemesis immediately set themselves up between Hive and the blue zone. I think it's a very good position to play, all things considered. They identified the location of Team Vitality. The Mythos sending in, doing tricks on it with the bike. They are still losing players. Justice up on high. Woe to leave this rock as Hello My Bad has an angle.
Very difficult for them. And now with Levante in the front man here, he's just gonna try to take him down, but him and finds the off angle. And yeah, losing so much here, and it's outside the circle. Look at Nemesis also encroaching onto their position, flexing out to close it off. Nixie finds him, and TMO is out in 7th place. 10 kills already for VP. SADUL out in 6th place.
Yeah, crossing that border into triple digits as well earlier on in this game. Really fantastic stuff. But Team Nemesis, though, they have been all over the place. I think it's been a really cool game watching them identify weak points of the circle and figure out how can they get in, how can they capitalize off the back of it. But gigantic shots coming through from Lucarux, takes down Diffex, the top player currently in the lobby. Hard to do much versus a P90, though, and Team Nemesis will go down to 3 as VP immediately bolsters this line.
Beamy and the Correxy just pushing straight into Nemesis. They know this is the team to shut down. 13 kills, 23 points ahead of Nemesis currently. And with the amount of pressure already onto them. Look at that Hackatory. The boys are pushing out though. This is an aggressive push to get out of the compound, to put pressure onto VP. Hackatory finds Nixie. Can they get more out of this one?
Tori looking to do what he does best and get up in the face with VP.
Beamy.
Another goes down to Nixie, but Beamy is absolutely blasting right now. Finds 2 and evens the deal. Lucarux, though, last player alive now for Virtus Pro. 14 kills on the game. It's another massive game that they're having here. And this seems to be their MO, right? Just come out swinging, get yourself these huge, juicy matches, and then just sort of cruise control over your others. Very, very good stuff from VP so far. And again, this game is just decent either way. Already a clear 24 points ahead of Team Nemesis after this game is said and done. Ascend, though, might be on for the back-to-back.
Yeah, Ascend is just laughing inside the circle. Meanwhile, all the other teams are trying to fight each other outside. Hello, My Bad, trying to heal and try to get into this one here. 2 solos. 3 solos, sorry. VP, Nemesis, and Vitality. And a full foreman now on Na'Vi. It felt like Stayed actually had a time to strike onto Na'Vi with the 2 knocks that we saw. And then instead he goes for this one here. He had 3 nades. He could have gotten 2 knocks and confirms with that, because the rests were going on too. And Lucarux, that's a broken observer. It's not looking the right direction on me. Here we go. There's the right observing perspective we're going for. VP, 15 kills though, and a 3rd place for them, guaranteed. Shots coming in from him. P90 in the hand of Lucarux is very different here, but can he get more out of this one? Can he squeeze another point out of this one, Blank?
Yeah, I mean, Navi's down to 3. You got Boostic in the front line, just holding him out. Gonna head back, see if we can Purloin some more lethals on side. Nade would be good. He has a rough idea of where he's playing. That is just lucrative to a team. I mean, what? Even though he goes out, those shots are disgusting, all things considered. And now it is a 3 versus 4. Can Na'Vi, from an incredible position at the start of the game, potentially get the 3v4 going? It's Chris with AWM fully kitted out.
It's Chris with the green machine. The big boy gun here. There's no way they're not losing this one here, it feels like. They've got all the terrain advantage. They've got all the crates. They've got all the gear. Navi's hurt. They committed so much smoke, so much utility. And here we're sitting with 5 smokes on nade and 3 stuns. Full 3 gear for It's Chris. 4 nades on Keta. And it's a Keta 98 even. Look at that. Look at the total amount of utility they have to spare. 10 nades. Plenty of smokes. On the side of Na'Vi, it's very sparse, that's for sure. 1 nade, 3 nades. That's a 4 total. So the utility wall is definitely to be won by Ascend here. And look at that. They've got nothing to play ahead of them without Ascend having locked all of it. But the big one for me is if Na'Vi plays this together as a 3-man and goes to against one position, they could potentially win it and then take the fight against the other guys here. They're playing kind of spread out, but it's maybe spread out a little bit too thin in between the Ascent guys.
I mean, the problem is for Na'Vi is that they get a beneficial circle shift for them, which comes back over towards the western side. But it's open grounds they start moving out. I don't think I saw any emergency cover flares either, so life gets very difficult for Na'Vi. And even if they get close enough to throw their grenades, you're right, there's so much more that Ascend can send back at them. So they do have to single out positions, right, and slowly pull Ascend apart piece by piece.
Yeah, that's how the approach should be released. Let's see what they decide to. They're in a coop right now. They got the smoke ahead of them, and now they got space. They got something to work with. And Kiliakai, look at that, it's Chris. He's got the angle. That's a shot. The jump is a little bit difficult to hit. He was at the edge of the smoke. No silence on that one, so they have no doubt. 81 damage done. Now shots coming in with them, 249. 45 damage done as well. K9, so that sounds like Keta 98 shots going out towards them. Look at this, Na'Vi under tons of pressure already.
Send Keta starting to move out. It's another slow, suffocating finish coming through from Ascend. And why not really? Every single advantage is in their favor. Ready to close this one out strong with the back-to-back, which, you know, will put them, should put them closer to that top 4, right? I mean, it's only 2 kills on the game, but still very successful couple of matches that they've already had to date.
Yeah. Very impressed with what they've been able to do here today, especially Kiliakai. He had 0 kills yesterday. They've been able to turn it up, and Kiliakai has been turned on. He's such a machine usually. And here, this is their game to lose, man. But it's the side of Pustik, Hackatory, and Ferris. Difficult to deny that these guys are really strong, and nades are coming in too. Hackatory finds Kiliakai. Nades are coming in towards Keter. They're going to have to commit so much utility to save this. And look at this, T-Bone with the off angle. He's got such an off angle. And look at that, shots coming in towards him straight. Immediate headshot onto him, though. And now the delay from Navi's being sent. He's going to try to survive. He got shot, med kit. It's going to come off. He's going to be 100 HP. Now he's going to take the shot towards the next guy here, Fairest. Down low himself. Now the shots is coming through because he's not in this exact LOS. But it's Chris finds Fairest.
Hackatory finding that. I mean, that's a hard pickup to go for. AWM sent in. Found the shot though, but for Na'Vi, losing Ferris is a big problem. Keta now creeping his way over, proned. As Chris will boost up here. Ready for this endgame. I think it's likely the Ferris gets back up again. They're going to just play this as 2.
I don't think so. Is he going for it? They're...
Yeah, no, yeah, so they're just going to play it as 2.
Right. Okay. Nades are coming in too as well. Connecting onto Boostic here. He's low. He's going to try to hide behind a tree. He's got the Doritos to work with. Let's see here. Hakatori leading the damage charge here. Can he make something work? Can they play this one out right? Na'Vi has a better angle towards that center dot, but a Panzerfaust in the back of Kilyakai is scary. Doesn't connect from its Chris. Now they're going to have to go back to get the arm and the machine working again. The well-oiled Ascend machine.
8 kills though for Na'Vi, and this game means a lot to them. Get themselves back in a position where they can strike up towards that top of the leaderboard. Hakatori with barely an angle will find Keta. Kilyakai with another Panzerfaust in hand. A 2v2 though now. From unbelievable odds here on the side of Na'Vi. The Panzerfaust does nothing. Explodes in a puff of smoke. But Na'Vi stands strong.
That was crazy. So well played. It just gets the confirmation on Zephyrus. They now know that it's an effective 2v2 here with Keta being knocked off the offlane. I really like the Keta push there. That's the exact way to do it. But when you go off the machine himself, Hakatori, you just get insta-denied if it's not a quick knock. No utility on the side of Na'Vi. 2 bandages only on Boostic here. 5 bandages and 2 first aids on Hakatori. No more utility at all on the side of Na'Vi. They have to win it from here. And have to win it like this.
Hakatori.
4 nades on Keta, and he got knocked on that off angle. That is detrimental, but look at the amount of stuns that's still in play here. 3 stuns on its Chris, 2 on Kilyakai. They can still make this work.
I mean, the nades bin on Keta is really the big deal, because in a raw gunfight, it really does feel that Na'Vi sort of has the advantage here. Hakatori is kind of been blasting from this position, but how does he get out from behind this position? He's just going to send it forward. It's Chris sprays through the smoke with the M249, gets a little bit of damage done. Stun grenades sent in.
A lot of stun grenades committed to go to an off angle that not getting them a lot already. It's Chris find Hakatori. It's traded immediately, and now it's Chris versus Boostic here. Can he make it work? Can he make the dream come true for It's Chris and Ascend to get this win home here? Let's see what happens, Blank.
I mean, it's been another classic Ascend suffocate, but Na'Vi looking to break the fingers, break the lock. Here is the M249. Boostic on a triangle, and Ascend will win M249 from It's Chris.
Look, the circle's middle.
Yeah, the circle's middle. You were talking about the flop from PGS1 and PGS2 for Virtus Pro, yeah.
Yeah, well, because the thing is that they might have got, say, for example, if PGS was just 1 tournament compared to the 3 that it was, they might have got into that in inverted commas, first PGS, having a flop and then never really finding the success that was PGS 3. Who knows, right? I'm really thinking, crazy theories down the line here. And I think that in part they look so amazing right now here because of, what happened at PGS 3, how much dominance they showed on the international stage. I'm not discrediting the fact that they are spectacular players and very, very good squad as a whole. But something to think about. Regardless, they're looking amazing.
Well, again, with the switch from FPP to TPP, there's got to be an evolution inside the team. And for Virtus Pro, again, I think it's fun. They don't have a great time at PGS1 and PGS2, and then they come out swinging in PGS3 because there has to be that improvement period. And I think for VP, it shows a lot of goal, a lot of gusto, where you can really get yourself into a position where every single time you're going up on an international stage, it's tough, but you keep improving, you keep coming back, and then finally you find it.
Yeah. Well, Beamy currently, his loadout is a mutant and M16. I hate that. I'm hoping he has a different loadout when we see him next. But if he did, imagine that. He tests himself. He's like, you know what, guys? We're so far ahead. Mutant and M16, that's my loadout. Okay.
Yeah, one bullet shots only.
Just little cheeky bursts.
I don't want the burst. No burst. There's always a devastating feeling getting taken down by the mutant. Even more so when it's like, if you get taken by the M16, it's like, it's fine. But if someone picks up a mutant and takes you down with that, that's intentional. They picked that up purposefully.
Just to spite you.
Yeah. I don't like it.
For Na'Vi, they want to be spiting Ascend in this game, obviously, as Hakatori and Boostic. It's funny, I wrote in our production chat, Chris and Killy versus Hakatori and Boostic. Good luck, Germans. It's going to be a rough one. But hey, they won it out. And fair play to them, going up against what is an absolutely terrifying duo in Hakatori and Boostic. Admittedly, a little bit of a kind of smoke advantage, right? They had a lot more util than them to be able to work with, and some good reads on where they were moving and stuff. And obviously Boostic towards the very end. Oh yeah, Killy Kai is Austrian, isn't he? Never mind. A little bit towards the end, Boostic having to move away from some of that cover. It's, he's kind of open and dead to rights at the very final moments. But still, you can't take it away from Ascend, man. The fact that they've got a back-to-back win in a lobby like this, it's not the most flashy wins, but wins nonetheless.
Well, yeah, that's what I was about to talk about, right? Is they weren't flashy wins, but I think for Ascend, I think it's a very, very... It's a humbling thing and an impressive thing to do, to know you're in a situation where you haven't been having the greatest games, but then you start to bring things back. Let's not push the boat out, right? Let's stay on smooth waters and just finish these games out. They're not going to look insane. They're not going to look super cool, but we will win them. And to have control of yourself like that, it's a good thing. I think it's a very, very good thing for Ascend. I think it's arguable that in that situation, yes, Na'Vi does sort of outclass them mechanically there, but they still get the win. That's what matters at the end of the day.
Yep. And we're on board with Mr. T-Bone himself. As I'm surprised actually he's not going to be on the post show with Mr. Mark Powers. So I think he's going to be doing something with McClay as well as Scav. Talking about the games. Maybe Scav will be as interested today talking about today's results. Yesterday's were great here for No Slack, but today's been a bit more mediocre for them. 1, 2, 3. El Diablo. Of course! They love it.
I hate the way the game loaded in as well. So it was even a surprise when it appeared. Yeah, I think for No Slack, I'd completely agree. I don't think they're happy with the way today's gone. I think it's a bit of a mental boom situation back on Rondo when you get taken down by Twisted Minds. That's a frustrating thing to happen to you. And then you're trying to find your footing after that, after slipping like halfway down the mountain. It's a rough one. It's definitely a rough one for No Slack. I think they can bring it back, though. I think it's a very, very good team. They've just been a bit down on their luck since that match. Like, that was their match to perform well. They had an insane position. And then it's right as the circle is starting to close in, you get delayed. It's a death sentence at that point.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if, of course, for No Slack, bit of a surprise that it's not gone as well today. But for our observers, not too surprising. I've called you out on your island observing. I've called you out on your El Diablo before it's happened. Called you cheeky on the islands. Come on, do something, observers, that I'm surprised by for this game. Come on. That's a challenge.
Dude. Okay.
They're going to do something weird now, but that's great. Cool. I love weird.
And now this is fine. We're following the glider. This is typical.
Yeah.
You can't challenge them like that. No,
they've got to set something up.
No, because it's going to happen tomorrow. It'll probably happen tomorrow once you've forgotten about it, because that's the type of thing they'll do.
That'd be smart. That'd be really smart. I like that. Let's see if S8UL can do something smart. Trading a few meds here and there. They've got a BRDM like that. They will be coming very late to the circle, though. But SE... okay, well...
Well, I think that's one love to the observers. I'm not.
They've got me. One love. Yeah, exactly. Stop that. All right, boost the BRDM. Boost.
It's 2-1.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. Boost the BRDM for S8UL because they are in Narnia right now. We'd rather not be in Narnia. Come out from that wardrobe. And Mr. Keta98 himself. Let's see what they're going to be able to get undone. As it's Chris, one of the heroes from before. Going to be shooting at that glider from before. No Slack. Get out of Dodge. Get out of there.
It's a good time to get that information on board. This is the fairly central circle, right, as well on Picardo. Everlong taking control of that early on in the tournament. Very nice for them.
Yep.
Good position to start in. I always do kind of like these circles as well. Very, very fun to play around with. The northeast circle on this one, where we head over towards that ridge side and you start having everyone try and find a little cove to call their own. It is a difficult one, but it's also a little bit of an actionless circle for a little while because there is so many positions to play.
I think for Everlong, with their central positions that they've had, it's all nice and dandy that you have them, like the Picados, like the Pachinkis and things like that. They just need more experience in these, top level regional lobbies. I think if they did get that down the line, like a few PECs down the line, and still held onto those middle positions, maybe they can make a challenge, right? But 15th place, 23 points from those locations. It's not what you would expect from a team coming in from those locations. So it's just lack of experience at this level.
I'm about to drop some knowledge.
Okay.
It's not going to be incredible knowledge, but I'm going to drop it anyway.
Okay, go on.
If I was Everlong, personally picking Picado, picking Pachinki, I don't think it's super useful for them.
Okay.
Because it feels like for Everlong, I didn't really expect them to see them in the top 5. I'll be honest, right? But I think playing at this kind of lobby and playing in from the outside edge is a lot better experience. Again, though, for them, it might just be a case of we want to try and get as high on the standing as possible. This is a way to guarantee some placement points at least. And again, they can always play in from the agent screens.
Sure. I think if it's offered up to you, you take it, right? Like, nobody else is there.
Yeah.
You may as well give it a pop, give it a shot. About this circle, though, here for a moment, the Virtus Pros found themselves in the middle again. Help! Like, what? How? This is crazy talk. So, you know what? Everlong, from Picado, hop down there. Go and deal with this 2-2 split of Virtus Pro, please.
Hang on. You send them to the deaths. That's not cool.
Go on, battering ram. You know, like that ogre in that hits its head into the door in, is it Minas Tirith? Which one? And then just falls over.
Helm's Deep.
No, there's no ogre at Helm's Deep. There's definitely an ogre. It's in the Hobbit movie. No, never mind. They're not as good. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, in the Hobbit's movie where the ogre he hits his head and he goes, ooh.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
He falls over and goes, ooh. And
yes,
ogres
exactly.
They're really non-threatening in that one. When they're like one of the most frightening creatures in the entirety of the lore.
Well, Everlong is apparently ogre headbutted Saint. Saint might have disconnected, and that's normally why you see those kinds of punch outs.
Wait, what?
Just stop him running in a certain direction. And something's happening.
Oh yeah, I think he's decent.
Maybe.
Or he's got like a
he's
book.
Stuck.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It happens sometimes, but I mean, you're in a position where you could. Yeah, okay. He's not reacting. He's not healing or anything like that. So it must have been a DC. It happens. And they've got themselves okay cover in Picado, right? So it's okay to be able to kind of get this back on board.
Is this because I dropped some knowledge? I'm really sorry.
Yeah, you called them the ogres that hit themselves heads into the wall. That's crazy, Blank. You caused that.
No, you did that. I think you did that. Yeah. No. You called them ogres.
Well, let's head to the battles elsewhere, I think. As Nixie somehow already has 160 damage on board as they're shooting at a few people. There's only been one casualty so far. That's why we're just having a good old chin wag. Unfortunately, that was Na'Vi losing out one member, which is not the best situation. Spiro going down after... That's the thing. Na'Vi almost always, like, you see them come alive at the end of days quite a lot of times, and that's exactly what happened on their PGS2 win. Like, the 2 last games suddenly absolutely jet themselves up into first place. So they're very good and very adept at doing that, but losing one early means that makes it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, mechanically for Na'Vi, it's always been very, very impressive. I think it's that's just late game decision making that's been sort of thing that they haven't been able to quite fall back on. I think Virtus Pro has been very quick with how they want to make these decisions, and it might not be that Na'Vi doesn't know how to make those plays. They've probably got a huge amount of plays in mind, but I think right now it does look like they're trying to figure out how to play around this lobby. But if you ever set themselves up in a good situation to play central, oh my god, they look so good. But yeah, I personally think that you're right. They're starting to pop off, but I do think tomorrow is Navi's game. I think they're starting to figure this lobby out.
You saying, oh my god, they look so good, coincided with us showing Ascend's webcams, and I was like, damn, that was a real quick topic change. But no, you were still on about Navi's.
Oh, the green screen fiasco.
Well, anyway, the circle has indeed still centered on the position of Virtus Pro, who still has the 2-2 split across very high prio compounds. So now we're going to see who's going to be able to thread the needle and move on and forwards. SAUL is actually moving in. Ispress does find Molodoct. So that is a pretty difficult casualty to take here for SAUL. Molodoc's a very important player for their fragging capabilities. So that's rough, and there's no real getting that blue chip back either, or even really any time of getting the blue chip and then going for a res, because he's so in the open where he went down.
Yeah. Again, I can't fault him for that, though. I can't fault him for that push. You see that this location is open. You've come in very late. I think you just take it, right? You absolutely just take it.
Where's the BRDM? They must still be in play, and they were just having more vehicles. Oh, Navi's got a BRDM. Okay. Didn't go for a res, though, I don't think, during all of that. I don't think they have the chip. But 3 gear on Fairist. And if Fairist, if he plays this anything like a Batulins would, he'll be using this for information as the IGL, just kind of scouting around, using it for a much better vantage point as they try and slowly work their way in towards a circle like this, which can always have its upsides. But they do know that there's going to be teams moving in behind them, so they've got to be very cognizant of that as well.
Yes, it's the IGL's best friend where, you know, you could be driving into circle and have the map fully open. No way. And you're not in danger. That's crazy. Yeah, so it's a very nice thing to have. The balls they're heading in on that eastern side. It's not quite the day 3 that we saw from in the qualifiers. And I think that it was expected that Balls wasn't going to do insanely well here, but it's nice to see that Balls did have a bit of bite to them. Right, but it just hasn't translated very well into the finals. PGG, on the other hand, I am very glad to see that they're still kicking. Right, I think they're still doing well. I think this is a strong team. It's definitely not one of the strongest teams in the lobby, but they can take it and kick it with the best.
Yeah, they've done all right for themselves, keeping themselves in at 52 points at the moment. Sloy Jacket once again, Marshall down for Boars as they're trying to wiggle on around all this happening, going on. The funny thing is, Sloy was the one that was miles away from that the 3 as well, so doing all right for himself, taking 1, and then now rendezvousing with the rest of the team. And as this circle bears down, oh boy. Okay, so I imagine Virtus Pro is going to all group up on that south compound, and then from there, everybody else is going to try and inhabit those circles, those hillsides. But the fields south of Virtus Pro are kind of annoying. You can technically live underneath that compound later in the game, as long as some of those lines of sights from the south side are completely gone and shut out from the circle. But it gets a little bit dicey.
How have we got sort of a repeat match 1 for Virtus Pro?
I'm loving it.
Just a different location. They're just like, just take the compounds as per usual. Great shots from Viz though. Over towards No Slank, losing Sata, which is a really big deal, but it's all popping off as many teams are trying to make their way in as quickly as possible. The Mythog looks over towards Vitality. Viz are getting stuck in with No Slank still. PGG finding the remnants of Boars. It is absolute carnage all across the map, and everyone knows why. Is because a ton of this area is very unplayable. You need to secure these locations, and now
it was your boy Ares. He was popping off against Vitality. They're down and out in 8th place for the rest of the day. Unless some people are going to actually leapfrog them, though. Hive moving alongside this. Actually did a lot of damage to them, but so did Virtus Pro as well. And where are we going? Okay, well, they're going to try and push on foot, but I think they're going to get blasted.
What is that? Okay,
so
well, Everlong's hiking. They're hightailing it up the dirt road. I don't think it's the most successful approach that's ever been taken, but we'll see what they can get done. All right. PGG will find the remainder of Boars. I mean, they had their teeth sunk into them. I don't think they were going to let go anytime soon. So now PGG does control nicely on the eastern side, which again is a little bit of a repeat from match 1.
He'll continue to do it at the moment as Kiliakai finds himself embroiled in a bit of a fight here with Bushido Wildcats alongside the Concretes. what can actually go on here. He does see him through that window as well. He's just hoping for... If he actually comes up from a prone position into a crouching one, he may be able to take some shots, but that leaves him very exposed indeed. Okay, we charge up an aid. Are we going to be able to post it? No, around the corner. Ooh, did a bit of damage there.
It's a great airburst. If they were still playing that corner, that would have been
driving.
A lot of damage done. Good shots from Miss Chris. Just the blue zone pushes him out of that location as well. Sadly, T-Bone will go down to Code Marco on the backstop there. Starry Skies, Wolfine, Bushido, Wildcat, Celtic, and the quick flush comes through from Diffex. A nice steal from him.
Somebody trying to move in on the SAUL position. I don't think it's going to be working out too well. Aduzi back in the BRDM, gets himself out of dodge there for a moment. As two, you've got to be very careful here as SAUL. Oh, Bestalosh. Good steal, though, on that.
Team Nemesis on the south side. Looking to see what they can get done over towards the teams on the north here. And for first prize, it's a bloody freebie. They have found the Miramar Magnet. We meant to delete that from the game, but it seems like it still exists. VP currently in a very strong position. And again, this is where we can kind of say that if VP gets another massive VP game out of this one, it's sort of very done tomorrow.
Lou. What on earth? Lou here with a triple spray. Oh, I need a first-person perspective on that at some point. Jeez Louise, Lou's just absolutely done him. A 4-piece for Lou against Everlong. And now it's all going to kick off elsewhere here as Metalman taking down it's Chris as they're trying to make the transition on through against the edge, but it's not going to be easier, man. I mean, as you say, Diffex with a... Okay, this is crazy. But the thing is that all of these moves trying to happen at exactly the same time, there's just not much to play. And if anybody gets out of, like, the conflict on the edge, they go into the prying eyes of Virtus Pro. Oh, dear me.
Yeah, it's real hard stuff right now. I mean, the fact that Diffex is getting some big work done with a mortar is crazy. Na'Vi looking to finish off the job for them. Another mortar comes through. Finish off Pains, which is nice. Artoon is a little bit terrified right now. A bit of a shot. PGG starting to work their way in on the ridge on the eastern side. Hive have to move down and out of this position on the north. It's a bit of a rough one to work their way through, especially because Twisted Minds already cleared out the majority of the space on that north side, so they can have full attention over towards Hive now.
Nemesis is so prepared for the push that they're going to be making on an SAUL because multiple of them have Panzerfausts against what would be the BRDM hop in, hop out, hop in, hop out. If Aduzi actually needs to do that in the defensive posture against them. As Twisted Mind still on the warpath here. Not going to be letting this go anytime soon. Lou with another one here. Salik goes down. Perfectix takes Mogor. Twisted Minds is like, well, what if we just shoot at everything now? As we're trying to move in on this north side and try and shut a lot of people down. Dante's dead. Off to Subila. Things are getting a bit crazy, Blank.
Well, I think for Twisted Minds, it completely makes sense. They know that they have to push really hard in this match if they want to set themselves up for tomorrow, where they can maybe take first place. It's looking more and more unlikely with Virtus Pro's position currently in the circle. I think the big benefit right now... Zakatori will find Sabila, and another nade gets so close. Well, PGG's getting very unlucky with these nades, man. They've been posted very well. But as I was saying, I think for Twisted Minds, it's not as bad because Virtus Pro currently don't have a huge amount of influence just yet.
No, definitely not. That first nade was a heat-seeking missile. I couldn't believe the throw on that one. But Navi somehow weathers the storm. PGG still laying above them. Perfectix hits Mogor once again. Twisted Minds is mad here. Salik's trying to do a bit more damage here to Na'Vi. Lou finishes off Mogor in the distance once again. They still have a little bit of room here to be able to play with that. Double flash goes forward though. Salik blinded as the FAMAS-wielding Fearist on the left-hand side. Looking for a bit of an opportunity wherever he can see him, but he does get spotted out by Salik. There needs to be more peeking coming in from PGG, but if the other player does peek over, he's going to be vulnerable to some other players. Look how aggressive they're moving up against this. They knew that they could, and Salik's down.
Yeah, I mean, that is a bold play. I mean, he has to peek that. Like, he's got no choice. He set themselves in a position, but I think, again, that's where Na'Vi shines. They are so mechanically gifted that they can afford to make a play like that, where he trusts in his teammates that they're going to hit that shot, no matter what happens. Lou finally is put down after his rampage on the northern side, but not quite finished off just yet. Zabilla will find rocks and finish. Aduzi will flush out stayed on that southwest side. Team Nemesis has been struggling slightly versus SAUL.
But obviously it's still in the BRDM. Where are the Panzerfaust? They may have actually spent them off. A Mailman, he gets run down. I think they might have spent the Panzerfausts. As I said, I thought that they were prepared for the eventuality of what is to come here with this, but now they're just spraying into it. As the Doozy gets on out, looks to charge up a nade himself, throws it on over, gets caught on the legs there a little bit, so has to duck back on in.
Team Nemesis is going to be very, very difficult. They sort of have to abandon Mailman here. It's a hard push. Doozy's playing this very nicely. He's being super oppressive in BRDM. They set up a side angle. He's in fact just going to go for the rundown, and he does 5-1.
Oh my days.
Diffex gets blasted out of the way, and a Doozy... It's so cruel.
I can't believe that first tap actually just straight knocks him, by the way. It was like the slowest vehicle of all time. Again, it's like the Austin Powers, the Zamboni running over the dude or whatever, or the roller. No! And eventually he just doesn't move. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a sad one. I think he probably should have got in the vehicle a little bit sooner. But a Doozy takes no prisoners. Oh. That Panzerfaust he just picked up as well.
I didn't see.
I think he picked up a Panzerfaust off of Mailman, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, he's ready and prepared to go. You know, he knows as a BRDM player, his worst enemy is a BRDM, as they will move further in. So SAUL do get themselves up into a top 5 during this game. 54 points, middle of the pack. I think a good result for them would just, if they could end tomorrow in a top 5, I think that's a pretty good result for them.
Meanwhile, in the compound, the one compound still remaining. It's Virtus Pro.
Yeah.
Can someone please do something about this? Technically, actually, with SAUL, Twisted Minds, and Na'Vi still remaining, actually, they're 3 really good candidates to try and do something against this. I don't know whether or not they can, though.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bombastic ending, right? With Na'Vi versus Pro, Twisted Minds, and SAUL still in the lobby. Starry Skies, it's a bombastic ending featuring Starry Skies here. And I think for Virtus Pro, though, again, I'll bring it back up for what I brought up earlier, is that they haven't had a massive amount of influence in this game. There's no reason to leave here. And this is where they need to start flexing out a little bit. And they know they need more kills to make this game worth it and push themselves into an even more insurmountable position on the leaderboards.
Yeah, and Virtus Pro knew that this push was going to be coming here from Na'Vi, so they just made sure that they greeted them instantly as they were able to push on up. Silas takes example. That's really good on the other side, though. If Cyrus Guys gets the circle shift, it might have to go their way, but look at Rooks going around the wrong way and gets caught by the FAMAS from Fairist. Really good stuff here by Na'Vi to go for these trades a little bit. If they could just flush Lookarooks, then maybe there would be a little bit more of an opportunity for the rest of the teams that were having to challenge this compound. But Nixie goes for a long range spray. Fairist once again with the FAMAS. It is deadly. And you've got to be very careful. A doozy. Oh, everything's going wrong for Virtus Pro. This is spectacular.
I mean, Virtus Pro is getting massively dismounted. You're right, for the leaderboards. It is great news. It's going to make tomorrow a little bit closer. For Virtus Pro, it is a disastrous approach from 7 kills, insane position, getting pushed off, but Na'Vi is just a flame right now. It is so cool to see them playing at this type of level. Twisted Minds, though, can't count them out just yet. As Starry Skies looks to hold on. You got Nitro in the background. He is doing a big amount of work for the team. 1 player left remaining. It is Lou. He has been on a tear today, and he will keep the team alive. But in comes Bestalosh.
Okay, right. He's just crashing on in, careening in. He didn't get either of them. He actually, there was a temptation for him to get out there and maybe try and confirm these flushes, but obviously Lou is still lurking. He can't go for that. He's actually going to go on one side. I get it. Very smart moves here, considering where Lou repositioned himself. And now, of course, here, Lou, unfortunately, tail between legs. Can't really do much about this at the moment. Going to try and post a nade on over. A little flash. Seeing if he can kind of get tool-ins, but not the case. He's confirmed by Starry Skies. Oh, Panzerfaust. Did you get that out of the boot? He's crazy. He's crazy.
Gets one.
Oh, he got the car ran him over. Oh, my God.
Oh, dear me. A doozy. What a nightmare. Not twisted minds. I mean, that's what I thought Lou was doing the entire time, is that he was going through all of the boots in every single vehicle, desperately opening and closing them, pretty much, looking for a Panzerfaust. The quickest hands in the West.
Okay, well, okay, we're just going to spray this now. Na'Vi is only 2 alive, and there's just 1 versus 1 going on, or 1 versus tank on the other side here. Besselosh is a bit of a tank as well, though, as he does tank a lot of those bullets, gets back into the BRDM. It's still a bit healthy. Na'Vi's going to start peeking across and seeing exactly what is going on from this. This was a very game 6, game 5. Like,
yeah, it really was. It's all got a little bit to pot here.
Hello.
Oh, well, the nade does damage the BRDM and finishes off Lou. These are some crazy nades been sent in. Besselosh is just going to run it. Yeah, he's just going to run it out into the blue. Fair play.
Got a jammer pack for the moment.
A problem.
All right, congratulations.